friends, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. This is finally time for the trial in the Unspeakable story adventure. All of my friends are lying to me, and my best friend is still dead. So, you know, life is just great. Great. One of my best friend's dead. My other best friend is leaving for Japan because her father is ill. My acquaintance detective friend is in the hospital. So all I have left is a 10-year-old child to keep me company. Because the other person who could have potentially been my friend is on trial. Alright. When I awoke the following morning, the following morning, Susato-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets. And so began an even longer day than the last. One that I would remember for the rest of my days. I think this trial I saw has like 4 parts. Gets me more videos, I guess. Good morning, Gina. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it. So where have you been? Huh? Sorry? You know, you're in a fancy dress. Susato, however you say it. I don't know. Where's your friend? Miss Susato had to leave early this morning. She was already gone by the time I woke up. You already with that, are you? You alright with that? Forget about me if you like. Go off and see her there. I can't read, I swear. It's fine. It's not as though Miss Susato and I won't meet again one day. Even so? But you, Gina, you only get one chance. This trial today is all we have. Good morning, you two. Oh, good morning, you two. How you feeling, Ginny? Did you manage to sleep? A baby kitty. I don't have a kitty. I have Sans. I hold Sans. Sans is my kitty. Iris, what you doing here? What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we show our support. Isn't that right, Waggy? Wacky! Sansi! Great way to show your support, kitty. I don't have a kitty. All I have is a Sans. I have an Oppa over there too. Let him have a nose around. What harm can it do? Oh, that reminds me. I bought a paper the other day on the way here. Now, would you like the good news or the bad news? What do you say, Bruno, Ginny? Oh, well, I think we'd rather have the bad news out of the way first. Nah, always take the good news first. You might not live to hear the bad. Yes, the question always gives people personalities. Let's not go there. Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. A record amount of rain has fallen this morning, and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move. Huh? The bad news was a weather report? So I hope that Susie made her train to Dover, and that the train isn't delayed on its way to the port. Gosh, yes. Alright then, what's the good news? Well, the rain is forecast to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, it should be able to make up the time later. Well, that is good news, isn't it? I couldn't give a monkeys, really. If only all the good news cancelled out the bad. And look, this trial has made the headlines too. Pawnbroker perishes in pick-purse plunder, see? Are you like that? Well, let them say what they want, see if I care. I can't because you're covering your face. Don't worry, Bruno will show everyone then that this headline is nonsense. I will. And then in tomorrow's papers the headlines will be discharge divers, don't this do-gooder. Isn't that right, Bruno? Oh, yeah, but let's hope so. Of course I will. I have absolute faith in you. How was that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Did it? It's like she was still here. Oh, we get the paper. I'm not ready for this guy who calls me his esteemed friend of a foreign nation. Good luck then, Bruno. I'll do what I can. Obviously, I don't know the law like Susie does, but still. I'll be by your side the whole time, giving you more support and encouragement. I'm not sure that big thing is as comforting as you think it is, to be honest. Oh yeah, I was gonna look over the, she gave me a book. I just wanted to see what we got in here. Victim found deceased in the last omnibus. Details of victim. Interesting. Can't believe I had to be help someone in that case. It's crazy. Thank you, Iris. That's very kind of you. Oh yeah, Iris. Yes, Jenny? Well, I was wondering is all about Sholmes. Did they fix him up all right? Yes, the operation was a great success, but Haley still hasn't come round yet. Eh? I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up. I'm sure Gregson will let us know the moment there's news. Oh, right. No Susato-san and no Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me today to prove that Gina is innocent of this crime. Mr. Gina, counsel for the defense. The trial is about to begin. Please make your way into the courtroom. It's time then? Yes, let's go, Gina. Iris. Lead the way, Bruno! I have a 10-year-old as my assistant today. This guy already doesn't respect me. Poor Gina. And now I'm gonna bring a 10-year-old into court today. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. I mean, I'm worried and scared. I have to believe in her from the start to finish. That's the weapon that will secure our victory here. I mean, it worked last time when we had, you know, a guilty client. No, don't show me him! I miss him. It's fine. If I learned anything from my great friend, that's it. It's that. I must believe in everyone to the bitter end. We do it for you, Katsuma-san. It's so sad. Time was too short with him, Mr. You know, flying bandana man. I don't know what that is. At least I get to hold his sword, you know? It's good times. The Old Bailey courtroom. It's our favorite prosecutor, everybody. Racist Miles Edgeworth. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready. His eyes always look like they're gonna bug out of his head, bro. Lord Van Zykes. My lord, remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the public prosecution service? Why are we talking about this here? It was some 5 years ago, my lord. Yes, and then 2 months ago you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly, and here you are again today. Are there some circumstances of which the court should be aware that have led to this erratic behavior? In what one might describe as your form of life 5 years past, you dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of our society and government. Really? Yet today, you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess I find it more than a little befuddling, counsel. There are 2 types of person I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large. He means Mr. McGilded, who you defended against the Reaper 2 months ago. I almost gave her a pearl voice. Yes, I just about managed to work that out. Thank you. Magnus McGilded. If I'd known what a monster he was, I never would have defended him. And secondly, even more loathsome, those wily scoundrels who masquerade as allies only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the confidence tricksters from those tiny islands in the Far East. Okay, like, I suspected that's why he was doing this, but seriously? Also, you've lost every case to me, dude. So, like, I don't know what you're proving, but it's not working. Did he really just say this? He means you now, Rudo. I actually managed to work that out too. Thank you, Iris. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? Like, broski. What's the deal with you? The torrid look of hatred in Lord Van Ziek's eyes. Was that directed solely at me? Or was he talking about all the Japanese people? I'm thinking it's the latter, bro. I think he's got some serious issues. An alarmingly scathing explanation, Lord Van Ziek. Sykes. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper the Bailey, feared by all of London's malefactors. Did our client ever die? The other one? Your lordship is too kind. Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been elected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Why is it like all the same people from before, plus a Russian dude? Wait, that's the old guy that kept falling asleep. He's a doctor now. That's the typewriter lady. They're all repeats. The only one I don't recognize, because maybe it's just because it's been a while, is the last one. Former lieutenant of the British Army, don't you know? Chaps like me were born ready. Clean cockery, cutlery, and clean conscious. His lordship's motto is very public here, I think. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely everything, and I'm ready for it. I don't understand it. I can't have it left it in here. Is it possible, but could I have? What? Women indispensable in society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stop. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. What is this? What is this? Is something wrong? Why am I rolling my R's? Is something wrong right now? Not exactly. It's just... I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact. Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? But it is quite strange. The jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know. So I've been led to believe, but something tells me I'm being duped. Very well, Lord Van Ziek. Sykes. The court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case. As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pop Windybank, proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents its photographic print of the crime scene. As the court will observe, there is a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in a near-instant death. Moving on to the findings of the Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. And what's that? Oh, that she shot him from the ground. It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Someone like the accused, you might say. Oh! The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report. Not the autopsy report! Anything but the autopsy report! And crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord. Indeed, the court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please. Yep, okay. I now ask the court to turn its attention to the plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept articles pawned to him. A windowless room with a single point of entry, a door to the main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber, there were only 2 persons present. The victim, Mr. Windybank, and the accused. any further interest, the court should know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet. Well, that's that then, isn't it? It literally looks placed, you know?
She's one of those filthy drabs that live in the slums of the East End.
Oh, well, it was only a matter of time before she got blood on her hands then. What are the jurors waiting for? The girl's guilty! Objection! We can't just jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive. My learned friend of an esteemed foreign nation, my visitor friend from the far, far coast. It is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses. Good gracious! After their testimony, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pick-purse or cold-hearted killer. Here's to establishing the truth. My esteemed friend. The court will take the floor plan and firearm into evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord Van Zix. At once, my lord. This is the last case. Shoot, where's this going? I'm scared. This isn't good. Like, Ace Attorney, the last case is always insane. I feel like the mood in here has turned out very gloomy all of a sudden, Reno. I think that's because it has. Oh, we're losing the cloak right away. Let us begin. Bring forth the witnesses to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Windybank on 16th April of this year. We lost the cloak right away. I feel like I should start keeping a blanket on me.
Huh?
Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court.
Name's not skulking. Occupation is body. Professional body. Name's Ringo Sculpture. Occupation's same as him.
Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector.
That's right. Well, what they call the three skulking brothers.
Wait, what? What? What are you looking at me like that for? Don't let me in with you lot. Cold blimey, that's cold. Don't you know what we're going through?
It's all the proof. Last contact with him we have. We're scouring every shady corner of the capital.
And then last night we come across you, very spitting a bloke. Ain't that right, Ringo?
He is, Nash. He is. The very spitting him.
So we decided there and then what was going to do? We was going to call you. What is going on?
Big bro Soki.
Come on, leave it out, you two.
Huh?
Well, then Inspector Sulky Gregson. Begging your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias. What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you are doing in the witness stand. The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft. These are they? These three? No, my lord. Begging your pardon, but please don't let me in with this lot. 2 nights ago, these two brothers illegally entered an establishment with intent to burgle. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became enrolled in a far more sinister crime. By Jove, you mean to say, what an extraordinary coincidence! Indeed, my lord, while attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery, they witnessed its proprietor's murder. Aren't these the 2 dudes who shot Sholmes? Like, are we just ignoring that? The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, though they will naturally face trial in this very near future. With your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in the stand to keep these gents in the straight and narrow. His accent changes every time, I swear. Of course, Inspector, skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question and what exactly you saw.
Happy to! Cause the Skulkin's never skulking.
Get out of it. Are they related?
We was walking down the Baker Street in the small hours and it got so it was a Jossie. It was like some kind of song begging for us to go in, it was. And once we got inside, God blimey lobby, we had a gunshot for the back room. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that, nice and quiet.
How did Sholmes get shot? Are we just ignoring that part? A terrible coincidence, it would seem. At the present moment, these miscreants entered the property, and even more sinister crime is afoot. The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside, and within, only the victim and the accused were found. I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now, of course. Counsel, if you please. Counsel? Yes.
What's the matter, Bruno?
Sorry, I was just stunned into silence by a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair in the stand. I know that it's all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies it is. I was gonna say, aren't we also witnesses, like, to their crime? Like, this is shady. I'm surprised I'm allowed to actually be a lawyer here, because I was pretty involved. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Hold it!
A gunshot, you say? Just the one. Are you sure about that?
Yep, just one, Governor. I can't swear to that. It was, Nash, it was. Ain't that right, bruv?
The fireman used to belong to the victim himself.
Yes, Mr. Wenderbeck always used to leave his gun lying around the corner.
Right, I remember. When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds. That makes sense.
Mr. Wenderbeck always used to say he only ever kept one bullet.
That's true. I remember him saying that as well. So we can say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used to as the murder weapon. Yes, my lord, we can. I'm running out of accents, and I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered at the hand of the accused. Excuse me. Wonderful. Great. Beautiful. Do you mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? If my learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps a drawing would help. Man, he's grumpy. Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there was only one other door, that of the storeroom. See, like, Edgeworth became nicer and nicer every case. This guy just gets meaner and meaner every case. I can't.
Of course, there was only one little lamp burning, not much to see by. And there was in behind the curtain and all.
That's right. When we arrived, the door was almost obscured by the curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door?
Eh?
Any normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think.
Oh, well, your turn to Rabbit Ringo. Well, Nash, yeah. I suppose you have to say we ain't normal, eh?
Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or a scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination. My learned friend of a esteemed nation, it would seem, is of the former. Alright, somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night. Thank you, consuls. So, I believe we all understand the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses. There we go.
Hold it!
You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story? Well, it was bedlam soon as, wasn't it?
It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out me locksy lockets.
So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say?
That's right, Governor. Nothing we ain't more than violence, peace-loving nibblers. We are not bludgers. We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me dukes out me Lucy lockets.
So you clearly like us to believe.
Eh? Come again?
As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Say, they fired a gun, you say?
Ah!
Blimey, Governor!
You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway?
It was. Why, that blatant Nora?
Did you mention that before?
You were armed with a gun, and as you fled the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Herlock Sholmes. Stupid. The great Sholmes is beyond the pale. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. It's just, why are they lying about it, you know? Furthermore, the barrel showed signs of a shot having been fired from it. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. Indeed, remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, counsel. The court ruled this weapon as evidence. Man, he's grumpy. Now, my learned, esteemed friend of the Japanese Empire. Yeah, what do you want now? Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. For yes, there are the telltale signs of spent powder on this gun, and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime under the scrutiny in this trial.
Objection!
Well, I don't need evidence. Because I was there.
Objection!
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on. Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left? Probably the blood thing. The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. La 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 la. I think it's that, but I'm just gonna save
Because sometimes they do stupid things and they want stupid answers. And it hurts my feelings.
Anyway, back to it. Chop chop.
Chip chip cheerio.
Where's the evidence? La 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 la. Not that, not that, not that, not that. Blood sample.
Take that!
The evidence is in this portfolio. What? What on earth have you there, Consul? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do. How arrogantly. Wow, you are just getting worse and worse. Well, anyway, man, he just like... I give this dude credit. I'd be like sucker punching this guy at this point. I don't care how hot you are with your purple hair. You don't have that excuse with your little footsteps. Sucker punch. We analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio. Anyway. And you claim to have the evidence the court is demanding therein. Yes, my lord. No more dallying then, counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded the firearm at the scene? Shoot. Not that one. Not that one. That one.
Take that!
What is that? Explain. It's a photographic print taken at the Windy Banks pawnbrokery on the day of the incident. From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? And if my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged there. Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Windybank's calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. The incident occurred in 1 hour after midnight, but this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th. That's right. And while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun in the pawnbrokers that night. Also, Holmes is in the hospital. There's that. Is that not evidence enough for you? Order, how does this prosecution stand, Lord Van Zykes? Don't smash that glass or I'm gonna smash... Oh, nope. Not finishing that sentence. I'll punch you. That's what I meant to say. If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. What? But you'll forgive me for flinging my hollow chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street.
Ah! Take it easy there, Governor. You're gonna land us in the chute. What idea? You weren't gonna get into them details. Tell him, Soke. Tell the bloke straight.
I have nothing to add. So he knew, did he? Van Zykes knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. It would seem now that I owe my learned, esteemed friend of the Japanese Empire a word of gratitude. What do you mean? I do like that he's at least slowly getting a little bit ticked off. What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. To what fact do you refer, Lord Van Zykes? As it has been established, at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brother's gun. However, if that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes, then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim. What? In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Windybank at all. I don't disagree with that, but I don't think our chick did it, so somebody else did it. I just don't know how. Like, I genuinely don't know.
What was that? That's it. We didn't have nothing to do with it. We did not. We didn't. That's what I reckon.
Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not forget, attempted murder. Quite a catalogue, eh, fellas? Goodness.
We're in for it now, bruv.
Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where is he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery.
Eccentric? Says who?
Not me. Don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the... Oh no. I thought about that too. It's like, this is gonna bite us in the butt.
Oh, that's one of Holly's red-handed recorders.
What is that, Counsel?
As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device.
Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed.
The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question.
It's gonna show her going back there, isn't it?
As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in a quite desultory fashion.
Rather prodigal, I feel.
In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. If I may refer to the court, to the plan of the premises, their respective positions are here and here.
You say these cameras produce a print every half hour. I'm afraid I failed to see. I pressed the wrong button. How that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals.
One can only pray that the would-be criminals linger. The criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera.
Hey! That's a bit of Friar Luck, Gabriel!
Lady Luck loves the skulking!
Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin?
It must have been just after 1, right, bruv? Must have been, Nash. Must have been, yeah. Just gone 1. In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence.
Hey girlfriend, what are we doing here? It's the defendant. Girl, what is that? Why didn't you tell me about that little detail?
As the court can clearly see...
Oh my.
The accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom.
What? I'm not saying I think she's guilty, it's just that would have been nice to know that detail.
One can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence.
Alright, hold on, let me get in the court record quick. Yeah, this is not good at all. Okay, one sec. I just want to examine it. Yeah, that's rather unfortunate. Like, why we gotta be like that? So, there's ammunition still loaded and 5 of this... Okay, there is, okay.
Which tells us that only a single shot had been fired from it.
Exactly.
The bullet that hit Foley, highly in fact, isn't it?
Yes, it happens almost as soon as we'd walked in through the door.
I'll make those brothers pay.
Okay, we're good there. Anything important? This is Mr. Wennebeck's gun. The cylinder is completely empty.
Mr. Wennebeck always used to keep this gun to hand in his shop counter.
Yes, only ever with a single bullet loaded, I understand.
That's right, to keep all the pawned articles that were in his car safe.
But as one bullet was fired that night, the poor man lost his life. Was he protecting his shop? Trying to keep the articles safe? There's something weird. There's something very weird going on. And I don't like it.
I don't believe it, Jenny.
In short, man, he is edged off.
Get it? Edged off like Edgeworth.
The accused is the only person who could have possibly have killed Mr. Winterberg. Yeah, okay. Usually I tell you you're being dramatic, but I think that's a pretty appropriate reaction given our evidence right now. I say, my lord. Oh. What if I might put in a word at this point? Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Took a volley bullet to the knee in the Battle of Maywand. Agent 80, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but forced to retire from service, sadly. Of course, a medal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us in the battlefields. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carried on the battle to retirement, you see. The battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am now leading this small squadron. 6 men, all good and true. And we all go down together, you mark my words. One for all and all for one. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand? Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a manner of speaking, yes. This is Gaudim Squadron's position, sir. Oh my goodness, it's way too soon to make a judgment. Status report, on the double. His lordship insists on promptitude at all times, and that goes for making decisions too.
I think I'll find the truth as clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it. I wouldn't have left it in there, I just wouldn't. But in all honesty, I can't remember.
What is going on with him? Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop. I'm very sorry for brothers. They are unlucky. Very well. I can now call upon... Oh my goodness. Already?
Guilty.
Oh my goodness.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
I haven't even finished my cross-examination yet. This justice system sucks. Where is the justice? It does need to appear. We have a unanimous leading. That photograph. It must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned.
But Ginny didn't shoot him.
No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination. Very well, the court grants permission. Don't you dare. So, you refuse to admit defeat yet again. How unsurprising. Alright. Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, you will explain on what grounds you determine the defendant to be guilty. To be guilty. 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 All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at this young pickpocket, Tian. As a housemaid, I should like to see all these filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated. I think you'll find that you'll look at the photograph in the stereo and the truth will pop out. I have left it in there. I should have think that... What is he going on about? Mind made up. Stop. Global radio transmission, a verdict to follow. Stop. In motherland, we'd say never judge by clothes, judge by head. I'm convinced brothers are innocent. Huh? The circumstances of the crime, the evidence do indeed implicate the defendant rather comprehensively. The storeroom, locked from the inside, in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone. And in the accused's hands, the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by these witnesses. Not to mention this print. Take it from a chap who's seen action in the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the bully trigger. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes. Oh dear. Hurley's cameras were supposed to help, not hinder. I'm afraid I think you'll have an uphill struggle ahead of you. But Gina didn't shoot him. Which means there's more to the situation that we've yet to see. Agreed? You have the floor, counsel. Proceed with the summation examination. What do you mean, look at the photograph in stereo? Sorry, what? Don't you know? If you look at the photographic print normally? It looks as though the pickpocket is about to shoot the victim, obviously. But there's no indication that the defendant ever fired the gun. All I'm saying is if you look at the same print in stereo, could reveal all sorts of new information. By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes? Oh, how did you know? Let's call it a lucky guess. It never gets old seeing the two prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extraordinary. It's captivating. It's the height of modernity. Of course. Oh yes, I think you'll find that stereoscope is here to stay. Give us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen. If only it could give me a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you. Okay, what are you going on about? What exactly have you been muttering about all this time, sir? You keep talking about having left something somewhere, or something like that? So sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon. A surgeon? That totally passed me by. Of course, people conducting surgery in this country aren't considered to be doctors, so no. Even though me and my kind are at the forefront of medical science, the real brains in the field. So, what is it that you think you've left behind? Oh, well, that's a little embarrassing. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday. Standard thing, went in through the abdomen. But when I'd finished procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel. What? Exactly. Surely not, you say to yourself, don't you? Worrying, isn't it? That's what I've been troubling me. Could have really left my scalpel inside the fellow's belly. No, of course I couldn't. So, there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing. That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter. That's exactly my concern, and seeing as this case appears to be all but sewn up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've sewn up elsewhere. Now, I'm sure I made everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as you can be without being sure. I'm sure you need to be more sure. What does it have to do with the case?
Hold it!
Please tell me you're not Milan Bolshevik? The Russian revolutionary? What, revolutionary? That's where I've seen him before. Da! I believe there's such rumor. I can't do Russian anymore. I had it down for a little bit, but it's gone. It's just a rumor. As you see, I have unfortunate appearance. I look like vicious criminal. Your words, not mine. Just wanted to point that out. People call me revolutionary, murderer, autocrat. And which club fits? Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Right, that didn't sound staged at all. You'll forgive me for having any doubts. Gosh. To be treated like wishes out of a lot of time is very painful. People do not realize. So I have much sympathies for these brothers. People say they are criminals only because of how they look. The Skulkin brothers? Da! Maybe they went inside pawnbroker's shop. But they have done nothing wrong. That is what I want to say. The Skulkin brothers did nothing wrong that night. Alright, well first of all, that's one not so little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up straight away. Tell me something, Iris. What is it, Runa? The jurors are chosen at random from inhabitants of London town, aren't they? Yes, it's amazing, isn't it? In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them, and who looks for all the world like a revolutionary? I wish I knew. Okay, let's actually, maybe I'll just press everybody at this point. You're Mr. Natsume's landlord, Mr. Garrett, aren't you? You really must be, we really must stop meeting like this. Ah, you're the loyal chap. Well, is it turn up for the books? Yes, rather a turbulent time we've had back then. Some extraordinary events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did rather a lot for you, didn't we? I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be suggesting that, therefore you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything. Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the Garter Palace was talk of the town after that business. Lodges moved out and I couldn't get a bally soul to take up the tenancies. Oh. Haven't had the heart to break the news to Joni yet. Bad enough that the old girl's copped up. Yes, can't be denied, you did rather do a lot. But not for us. That's for dash certain. I suppose not. Of course. There can be no suggestion that being the reason I'm leaning towards guilty, obviously. Obviously, but honestly, I really wish you'd pay more attention to the trial and less to juror number 2.
Hold it!
Polishing the bench, I see, again. A maid's work is never done, not a blemish must remain. What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores? On my way to the market for his lordship, I have to pass through the East End. The place is full of beggars, pickpockets, and crossmen, the scum of the earth. A little harsh, perhaps. Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span or eradicated. At least we'd have people like the great detective working to achieve those important goals. You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes? That's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Rat's magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital. Mr. Sholmes, a maid? It's really quite unforgivable. Got a scum having the audacity to shoot a very great detective. Minor detail, it was the 2 brothers who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant. A minor detail indeed, they're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned. Well, it might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway. It might be a good idea. Yes, alright. I shall amend my statement. Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for shooting the great detective. Okay. Okay, I think I have an idea now. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna pin this one against that one. So let me save. I gotta save my progress quick, and then I'm gonna pin him against her now that we have adjusted this statement a bit. Not sure that'll be enough to sway their vote, but we can at least get them at odds a little bit. That's my idea, at least.
Hold it!
Oh, I pressed the wrong thing. Hold on. Wait, I can hold on. Wait, I can load. Hold on. The joys. There we go. I was gonna say, I didn't mean to press that. I meant to press the other one, the pin, go against, I don't know what it's called. It's taking its sweet time loading now, though. Pit, that's the word. Put you.
Objection!
Hey! Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other. I do like the animation on this. Counsel, explain yourself. Oh my statement. Contradictory. C-O-N. Juror number 6, you've got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick, I have mouse. Okay. As juror number 2 said earlier, what is this music? When the Skulkin brothers fled the scene on the night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver. Yes, they shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen, I understand. Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear. A-B-D. Sir? Sorry. English still learning. You are telling the court you didn't hear. Forgive me, I did not hear. Here is word abdomen, part of person's body containing stomach and other vital organs.
Is this what you mean? You should say in plain English. I am Russian, not native speaker.
Who thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again?
So, you are telling me these brothers who look like criminals were lying. They said before we never done nothing, but truth is they shot Detective. Duh. This is double negative.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Lying is wrong, especially when lie is said by a person who looks like a criminal.
Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced.
This means, when they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also a big fat lie. Is this true?
Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so...
Enough! I trust no one now.
It's not the mouse's fault, though, sir.
I must see with own eyes. I must investigate a crime scene myself.
I'm afraid that won't be
Yes, it is, Bruno. Easily!
Sorry?
With the prints from Harley's red-handed recorder.
Ah.
If you compare the print that pictures Jenny and the next print from half an hour later, you'll be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not. Chloe! Mr. Prosecutor!
Tut. I did not just get tut-tutted by you.
Calling on the prosecution in the middle of a summation examination of all times. The print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Following this, the victim and the accused moved into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the skulking brothers entered the shop and summarily heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later, after the brothers' flight.
So this was taken after Harley was shot then. As far as I can tell, nothing has been taken. That doesn't seem to make sense. I can't notice anything, obviously. So the brothers who look like only one told only one lie.
They shot man, but they stole nothing.
It would seem so, yes.
Good. No, not good. You were right. I did not understand the situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it is very important to continue with trial.
Yay! I don't know the logic behind that decision, but I will go with it. I will not question things.
Yay, well done, Rudo. The balance is shifting.
Well, it's a start, I suppose. But there must be more in what these jurors are saying that I can use to expose the truth. If I can do that, we just might turn the situation into our favor. Thank you, counsel. Continue. And kindly hand the new photographic print to the bailiff to be filed as evidence. Let me see that. Another print. I wonder if I can make use of that. Let me take a look at that. Okay. Post-shooting photograph. I just want to see. Everything looks the same. I'm guessing I'm not supposed to see anything because... Guess I'm not supposed to notice a difference because otherwise I would have had to do things. Okay. Oh, hold on. Okay.
Hold it!
Okay, Yep.
Objection!
I'm just doing this again because there's gotta be like a thing I can do. How did you know? Let's call it lucky guess. Yep. I just thought like there'd be something to do with that. Okay, I don't have a thing. What am I supposed to... Okay, I haven't done this one yet. It's the only one I haven't done yet, so. Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean? Are you from Far East? Stop. Yes, I'm from the Empire of Japan. Stand up for yourself, that's right. All communication with Far Eastern nations used to take up place by mail. Royal mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey. Ah, but now we have the electric telegram, so we can send messages using electrical signals. Thousands of miles of cables have been laid along the ocean beds connecting the entire world. Thousands of miles of cable on the ocean bed? Makes my head hurt just thinking about it. You're well informed, young lady. Hey! But cables will soon become a thing of the past. Stop. And just when I was starting to catch up. Radio transmission is the future. Stop. Messages carrying over airways to four corners of the globe. Stop. Excitement growing. Stop. Atmospheric electric. Stop. Right. Try not to wear out your fingers. Era of wireless technology. Telegram. Stop. Driving technology revolution. Stop. And people say inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology, but are they piffle? I can't understand it. I really can't. They're just silly toys. There we go.
Excuse me.
I'm like, it's gonna have something to do with that thing, because we've been talking about it since this case started. Juror number 3. Sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but... What? Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? Imagine if court really worked like this, bro. As if I couldn't guess. Oh, you bet I do. Say that again. Go on. I dare you. Goodness, are you talking to me? I think you just might be, yes. You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you, huh? Absolutely. I mean, really. A machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions. Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. What a great way to appease the man. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all. You just don't know! Pardon? I think you'll find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate. What sort of possibilities? Well, take a crime scene, for example. If I had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, it could reveal hidden clues. What? Have you got any, Runo? How about this print here?
Take that!
Alright then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do that with any 2 suitable photographic prints? Of course I can! Very well then, I'd like you to demonstrate. I'd be delighted to. Just give me one more point and I'll amaze you all.
Take that!
Alright. These 2 prints were both taken with the same camera when he back on the night in question. Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer. Do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle? Well, I think so. I did have a lesson only yesterday. The left and right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in the positions of some objects. Then, when your brain merges the 2 images together inside your head, it notices the shift as if it were depth. Yes, exactly. It's that small shift between certain objects in 2 pictures that's really important. So what happens if you use 2 photographs that are exactly the same then? No, obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the 3-dimensional. Oh! Of course, now I see! I think the young girl's discovered the secret! I have! The cross-eye. Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me? It freaks me out. Have another look at the 2 pictures from Hallie's camera, Runo. Go on. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? Have another look. Can you see this really obvious difference between them? Well, there's people. Curtain door, curtain door. I don't see anything else. Of course there is. There's 2 people in the first and no people in the second.
Well, yes, you can have to see that straight away, but now, try looking at the pictures in 3 dimensions. Alright, I'll give it a go. Cross your eyes, and then try to make the 2 pictures overlap exactly. See if by crossing my eyes I can still make the quill pens. Wait. Well, did you manage to see it properly? Not really. I was supposed to actually cross my eyes. I'm just not very good at this. That's the trouble. Oh, don't worry. I have just the thing. I happened to bring it with me, a portable stethoscope. I know I mentioned this yesterday, but if you've had that contraption with you from the outset, you could have saved me staring at Mr. Windybank and Gina like I hate them all the time. And if you remember, I said in reply that it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes. Anyway, why don't we use a helpful little aid now? Oh, so I was supposed to be able to do it on my own? Yeah, I can't do it. Okay. Here goes. Now, let's see what we've got. Wait, look at that. Look at what? Ah! What's going on with the... Wait, what? Some of the things in this counter sort of... They jump out at you. Huh? Yes! That's it, you see? That's the other amazing power of stereoscopes. Other amazing power? Is someone going to explain this black magic, eh? Why the deuce do some things in the counter seem to jump out at you like that, I think you'll find that if you consider the basic principle of the stereoscope, you'll be able to answer your own question. Basic principles of the stereoscope. As I said before! I made you sound just like the chick, but, you know, it's fine. You'll deal with it. If you try to look at the 2 identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's a slight shift in the position of certain objects that lets you see pictures 3-dimensionally. In other words, even though at first glance it seems... Well, they did move a little bit. Like here? Yeah, they moved. Okay, wait, so let me see if I can do this. Yeah, no. Even though it seems like objects, but it does look like they move. Yeah, I didn't even see that. It's farther over this way. Huh! This shows that actually there must have been a slight shift in their positions. Yes, it must have been. They moved over that way a little bit. The whole fire there, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of this whole cross-eye business now, I'd say. But why the devil does a shift between the 2 prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you're cross-eyed, master. What? Me? I haven't the first idea. You never know, it's quite simple. It is? Just think it through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1 a.m. Then 30 minutes later, the second photograph was taken. But the position of some items in the counter appeared to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter. Zukas! Someone tampered? New information. Stop. Not as mentioned in testimony so far. Stop. Yes. We've had to go around in circles a little here, it seems. But I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in this summation examination now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question is now clear. We know the items in the countertop were moved. But by whom? Are you suggesting you might know? Of course. Save. Because I don't actually know, but I was just making things up. It's the brothers, isn't it? Boom, 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 boom.
Take that!
It was the witnesses currently in the stand. The Skulkin brothers. Wait. This does not agree with what the brothers said in testimony before. They said they didn't even have time to put dukes from the Lucy lockets. My phrasebook says dukes is meaning hands and Lucy lockets is meaning pockets. But this is another lie? Is this what you are saying? Yes, I'm afraid so. Hold there a minute, you can't be sure of that.
I quite agree. The accused is a common pickpocket after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal.
I think that's unlikely. And why exactly?
As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. It would seem, as my learned friend indicate, that she was coercing Mr. Winterbank to open the storeroom next door. In other words, Mr. Stray's interests lay within the storeroom, not on the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter.
All of which points to one thing.
The Skulkin brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony.
But the accused is a pickpurse. Come and get a trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here?
Because the Skulkin brothers are thieves, madame. No better, in fact, worse than a pickpurse.
I believe that these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves?
Well said. I, for one, would like to hear more from this shady pair.
Can you see it now? I think you'll find stereoscopes aren't playthings. You see the extraordinary potential firsthand? Goodness graciousness. Wholeheartedly agree. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. Will return home via Regent Street. Stop. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. I hereby call this summation examination to conclusion with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus. And I order this trial to continue.
Yay, well done! Oh, by the way.
What?
You should hold on to this, Runo. You never know when it might come in useful.
Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely. But alright. Oh, we know we're gonna use it. Lord Van Zykes, you will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them. I'm sure it won't spoil the bouquet to do so, my lord. I've won myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night at least. And I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Gina is innocent. Woo! That's crazy. That's crazy.